last week we did. Have you done try that on for size?
Yes.
Okay, and have you done?
Oh,
Have
no.
you done? No, try that on for size was fantastic, and
No, it
But
turned out
how do
pretty
you do
well.
that without somebody seeing emotion?
so what you do instead of the emotion, you do the sound effect. You make the sound effect yourself.
I'm not. Okay.
So you just make
I'm revving my
exactly.
motorcycle. Try that on for size.
Yeah, like and honestly, the worse the better. Like because the whole
I'm
point is
just
that.
saying I can't moan at the top of my lungs. I do have two roommates.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that's right. You're. Wait, where are you? Are you on in a dorm or are you
I'm in
out on?
Province, so
Oh, sweet province. It's still it hasn't collapsed yet.
no, but the first apartment that my brother had before they switched him to a new one within like the week had black mold behind the fridge, and then building 10 has bed bugs.
Black mold. I am not surprised. I was there the first year it was open, and the first night our pipe burst, and
That said, though, I do really like it, and I'm sure
yeah.
that there's going to be people that are from RIT that are going to listen to this. So I really, really, really do like this apartment.
No, it's great for if you're living there for a year. If you like, it's not the type of place you want to live. You know, it's not. In other words, if it were a condo, I would not buy that condo
I
because
don't know,
within
man.
10.
Mine's pretty. I think this is pretty sweet. I mean, I get my own bathroom, dude.
Yeah,
If it was cheaper, I think that's really the only
yeah,
thing. Because I sublet it over the summer. I'm like, even the sublet fee is like more than I'm willing to spend, but I don't,
yeah.
it's here and convenient, so it's like, all right. But
It is
if I was
basically
there
like.
for if I was there for longer than like 2 months, it would have been like, I like having a bank account with money in it. So
Yeah, like
Well, my summer job kind of helps with that kind of thing.
yeah. If you're lucky enough to be able to afford it, then you definitely get what you pay for.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's it like it wasn't like I watched it go up and like it went up in like I'm not kidding like 4 months. Like the whole
Mm.
every building went up within like 4 months, and there was like actually like a news story about like
How fast was
accusations
that?
of like it was not built to last, put it that way.
Oh.
But it's great for if you're staying there for a year or less because you won't be there long enough to notice the problems. And in about 10 years, everyone's gonna have to deal with those problems like black mold and like structural integrity, things like that, little things.
I don't know, man. I
nests of
like it. I think I'm gonna
spiders.
live here next year. I don't mind it.
All right, yeah. What building are you in?
I'm in building 15.
I thought you were gonna say building 8. Building
No.
8 is where I lived. I lived in 8108, and there was that year. Ed, you weren't here yet either. I don't think you weren't. You didn't come till the year after. We called our apartment was called the Power.
Oh God.
And we ran shit. And when I say we ran shit, I mean like we literally were like we became the party spot. We had not only did we have the hookup with like students from RIT and from other schools, but we were on lock with the security guards. Like they came to our place to hang out at our party on break from breaking up other parties because they knew we knew how to handle our shit.
That's
We had
incredible.
dude. One time they came and they drank all my Fireball while I was busy in my bedroom with someone. But I come out and I'm like, I want some Fireball, and they're like, yeah, Duffy came and drank it, and I was like, fucking Duffy.
See, I don't know. I'm not that much of a party person. Like, I'll go to parties. I've been to improv parties. I've been to sofa parties. But, like, I'm not, like, someone that's like, why isn't there a party this weekend? Na, 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 na. So
Well,
it's nice to just be able to come back from campus and, like, have somewhere that's quiet and be able to chill.
yeah, I mean that was the trade-off because I lived with Tyler, who was also at Comedy Troupe at the time. And, like he was the life force of the Power. Like he planned all the parties, met all the people. I just kind of hang around for the ride and just like help run shit during the party and like usually I was the least drunk. So
Huh.
I would help like if necessary bust up fights or whenever they randomly happen or whatever drama unfolded. But yeah, like I definitely recommend living with somebody who like if you're somebody who isn't outgoing, like if you're an introvert or any sort of just not an extrovert, spend a year at RIT living with an extrovert because you'll end up like as long as you're actually friends and you get along with each other, you'll be able to compliment each other. Like
See,
I've
my
never
thing
been
is,
myself.
like, my two roommates both play soccer, and well, one of them, Lauren, she goes to bed at around 10 every night, and then Riley is similar to me in that she's an art student, so she stays up and she's comes back at like 11 to 1 in the morning, depending, um, because she was doing stuff in the lab. So it's kind of like a nice mix of like
Hmm.
the kind of old, like the kind of like a mature soul kind of mentality of like having things be chill, but also like people, they're totally understanding of when I come back at like 2 in the morning or anything like that, or they understand when I'm doing like artsy stuff and all that. They're really, really chill. The only thing is like, not waking them up, but once they go to bed, they sleep like rocks, so it's fine.
So this past year, I did the ultimate, or what I consider to be like the ultimate like roommate thing, which I was able to successfully hide a canoe in my living room, and no one noticed.
How?
I still don't know. So
On purpose?
we had a canoe for the film I was working on.
For November Moon, I remember the canoe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were there that day. Okay,
Yes,
so
I
we had
was
a canoe.
holding the damp rope and the damp grass for 3 hours straight.
Yeah, about that. Anyway, so we had a canoe, and then we're just like, okay, we need this canoe tomorrow, but where do we take it? I guess my apartment. And so we just drag the thing, and it's the entire span of the living room and the kitchen.
Hmm.
And we get there late at night, and then someone comes and picks it up the next morning and to return it to like the club that we borrowed it from. And then, I go to apologize to to Matt and everyone the next day and be like, "Oh yeah, sorry about the canoe and I should have like run that by you guys." And it's like, what canoe? What are you they had been upstairs the entire time and
Amazing.
completely missed that there was a giant boat in their house for a good like 12 hours. It
See, I
was
feel like we can have days where we don't even do improv. We can just literally talk about the shit that's gone on in college, and that would be suffice enough for people to like be entertained.
Yep.
well, there's also the question of like what I considered home at the time. Because like if home is like where you've slept more, honestly, like in like the school labs and stuff,
Yeah,
like I've
true.
spent so many nights
Spoken
in
like
like
a
editing suites
true
and
film
things.
student. Spoken like a true sofa student.
Not so much my senior year, my junior year definitely was to like
Mm.
"Rah."
I did a single film project in my time at RIT. It was that
Oh
Dwight
God.
video.
I forgot
And
about
dude, that thing took like 16 hours of
Yeah.
editing.
Now try that like at least
I
within
got a
a
dose
year.
of yeah, I got a dose of like the sofa lifestyle. I was like, this ain't for me. I'm
No,
making video games.
no, it ain't for the faint of heart. That's why I hate when people are like, "Oh, you're a film student? Oh my God, yeah, it's so easy." I'm like,
Mm.
okay, you just keep thinking that. That's fine."
And this was I had borrowed a camera for like it was for some contest or something. So they gave me like a camera that could do 1080p video. Whoa! And it was like it took forever at the time because it was just like it was like whoa, that's full high def. That's all the P's. Like
Yeah, and now we have 4K.
yeah. Now it's just like oh 2080p whatever. That's quaint. We have 5K 7,000 pixel whatever.
Oh man, I'm
And
pretty
you
excited about
need
that new
all of it.
building that they're bringing up, the one that's supposed to apparently integrate video game design and film stuff.
Yeah,
That's pretty
Magic.
sweet.
Magic Studios is like the ultimate. It's like the culmination of all the changes in the curriculum they put on me when I was there. Like all the times they kept saying like, well, we're gonna change the requirements here because we think it'll be better this way. They were tinkering in it for like a full decade, and that's the result. And it's awesome. And I kind of wish like I wish like I could have gone when that was a thing rather than beforehand, so I didn't have to be the guinea pig. But at the same time, I'm glad that it exists for future students.
I don't know if I'm gonna be in college when that's done. I doubt it, but it's still gonna be cool.
Hmm.
I
Well,
don't
it's
know
nice.
how long it'll take to build. How long did the Policini Center take?
That was like a year or two.
Was
This
it?
Yeah, about
I
two
think
years maybe.
they broke ground when I left RIT. I think that fall
They
is when
they
they broke
finished
ground.
it my sophomore year, so that would be like 2.5 years.
Hmm.
No, 2 years.
No, I'm talking about the new hockey place. What's
Yeah.
it called?
Yeah, the
Oh,
one
that place. I'm thinking of something completely different.
No.
I am not thinking about the right thing. Okay.
No, you are not.
you're thinking of the canoe again.
Yes, I am thinking of the canoe.
Ed
It's
always thinks of the canoe.
it's always
Canoes love canoes,
I
right?
really wish I had that canoe again.
You
I
should.
need to still dig that short film up from SofaTube because I was so mad because I had scheduled my entire day that day in order to get to the screenings.
And they
Then
messed it up
you were like finishing answering questions when I walked in the door, and I was
because
so sad.
they pushed everything up an hour.
I know it made me so
Wait,
sad.
have you not seen it?
Not yet.
Let me send you a link.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it public, like, in a little bit. I'm just waiting on like Kickstart backer things to come in, and then I'll make it live. But
Okay. Yeah,
Dude,
send me a link, defo.
my first. This was January 2012.
Okay.
I was like looking at. This was when I was deciding whether I wanted to like double down on video games or like try and pivot to web. And my idea was to make a humans versus zombies video game.
Oh,
Um,
Jesus.
I got pretty far. Like I made a design doc that was pretty legit. I had a working like prototype, and I went to the head of the games department, and I was like, "So I know this type of game requires money. So here's what I'm thinking. There's this site called Kickstarter, and they've done a couple. There's been a couple. This was 2012, like January 2012. So this is before Kickstarter was like known for video game projects, and I was like, "There's a site called Kickstarter. They've done a couple movies. I think maybe a video game might work there." And I remember, like the guy looking at me. He didn't look at me like I was crazy, but he was kind of like, maybe. And then like less than a month later, Tim Schafer comes out with his Kickstarter that raises like $1 million in like 24 hours, and I'm just thinking like, God damn it,
Amazing.
God damn it.
it's like those people's like turn down the Beatles because guitar groups are on the
Yep.
way out,
Or
people
those
tell,
publishing companies that turned down Harry Potter.
people tell
Yep.
Bill Gates no one will need a computer.
Yeah,
But you never hear about that when the people are right.
because they're right more
it's
often than
always
they're
about,
wrong.
like-
I mean,
Well, I mean, it's always like, oh, no one will need a computer, and then Bill Gates goes and makes Windows and whatever. But you
I
never
don't-
say that to the person who's like, everyone should have a cantaloupe garden, and then you never hear the people are like, I don't think we're gonna make that mainstream.
or if you would have just come down and to me like and be like, Mike, I'm so sorry about the canoe. I
What
was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Get out of my office.
was I gonna say? I don't know if you guys saw this when I posted it on Facebook, but my second cousin is actually gonna be in the new Harry Potter spinoff
Ah, yeah, I saw that.
as one of the leads, and that just freaking blew my mind because I had like helped out her father with some of his acting like related stuff because he writes books about nonverbal acting and all that kind of stuff. And then I knew who she was because she was on Jay Leno that one time because of the band that she was in, and she was on Transparent and Dig, but then like that dropped, and I was like, holy shit, she's famous.
Hmm.
It was fucking crazy. My whole family, like on my mom's side, blew a gasket when I told them. It's just fucking insane.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and like in terms of, by the way, I have Ed your film up, but it's 17 minutes long, so I
Yeah,
feel
don't
like
watch it now because
yeah.
This is Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah.
Although it could be.
man,
I
this
mean-
movie's really like boring
All right,
and stuff.
I'm gonna
I
take
don't
this
like
off.
it.
Mystery Science Theater 3000. I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
How can you be a film student? Isn't that like your first course is just watching that for like...
Dude, there's a
Special.
lot of films I haven't seen that would make. Okay, I'll put it to you this way. 2 weeks ago, we watched The Godfather, a Germanic Structure. That was the first time I saw it.
You're living a lie.
And then I
You
still
couldn't- you
haven't
couldn't-
seen most of the Star Wars films, or most of the Star Trek films.
Well, the Star Trek ones, they're sort of... They're hit and miss. The last two new ones I liked. I know a lot of Star Trek fans were very against it because it's not Star Trek enough, but I liked both of them. But the original ones, like, they really are kind of... They bounce around in quality. Like the first one's great. The two after that are, like, really awesome. And then the fourth one's just a comedy for no reason. And it's awesome, but it's a comedy. So it's like you're not expecting it. If you like, binge watch them on Netflix, you're just like, why? What? Whales? What?
Something I like, something that I didn't do this intentionally, but I just realized how much fun it is that I've actually never read or seen Harry Potter,
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
and it freaks people out.
Yeah.
Kind of does.
Like, okay, I've seen Wizard People Dear Reader, and I've
Are
seen
you going to?
I've seen like the fourth one and like the sixth one because they were at the Dollar Theater and people were like, "Hey, let's do something." I'm like, "I'm lonely, okay." I had
Are
no
you
clue.
going to get around to seeing them at all, or what?
The thing is, like, I kind of halfway want to, but at the same time, saying that like, "Oh yeah, I don't get that reference to I don't know who Voldemort is. I don't know."
Yes, you do.
Like, I actually don't. Is he?
Jeez.
He's not the. Does he die? I don't
Yes,
know.
but
It's
he's
like
also like the bad guy.
Spoilers.
who's Dumbledore? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know it.
Oh
And but the thing
my
I like people's reaction to just me being ignorant on this
Exhibit
series.
A being me.
So it's like I want to, but at the same time I don't. Because that was kind
That's
of my
kind of.
thing. Because that was my thing with Star Wars for a while. It's like I hadn't seen it, and then
Mhm.
like I finally saw it. I was like, okay, like I get the references now.
Yeah, see,
But
the person that
I
tried to show
I
me Star Wars showed me them in order but not in order of which they've come out, as in order of storyline. So I've only
Ew.
seen one and two.
That's the
So
worst way to see it. For some,
that don't as I don't watch
I will
it.
admit I have seen 1 and 4 the most because it's like I'm gonna go watch this now and then lose interest, so I start at one of the two starting points
yeah,
Mm.
and then never get around to 2 or 5.
you got to start with 4. What happens with 4 is that 5 and 6 are basically like, even though it's a trilogy, 4 is standalone. 5 and 6, 5 ends on a cliffhanger. So like
Uh-huh.
4 you could watch and then be like, that was fun, I'm done here. 5,
Because they didn't know it was
like,
going to be a series.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly. And then 1, 2, and 3 are just like,
I mean, and that's also my thing with like Ed. I have a similar thing with you and with Breaking Bad because I haven't seen Breaking Bad and I've actively not watched it.
Well, I
Like,
haven't seen it either. I mean, just to annoy people. I mean, really, that's the only reason because it got people started talking about it like actively like on its last season. Like people I was
Mhm.
hanging out with,
yeah.
like, "Oh my God, it's the best thing ever!" And I'd just be like, "No, it's not," and have no clue what I was talking about.
Yeah, but here's the
Like,
thing of
I
like
was
I've
like,
gotten a lot of people that were like, "How could you be a scriptwriter and not see Breaking Bad?" And I'm just like, and I kind of just look at them and I'm like, well, okay, for one, it's gotten way too big, so that my expectation for this is for it to have no flaws, and that it definitely does. So I'm definitely not watching it until it dies down. That, and also it's like, listen, all right, I'm sure it's written well, I'm sure it's filmed well, but the subject matter in and of itself just doesn't really interest me that much. Like the idea of a science guy making meth is just like,
"Oh
okay,
my."
like, all right, that's fine, I guess. But also, like, literally, this is such an American centric thing. But that's not, but most things are, but that's not the point. But it's just one of those things where I'm not like super into the thing. And I tried, like, I remember I was at a friend's house and it was on and they were watching it. And I tried watching some of the scenes and I was just like, I'm bored. I'm sorry.
You definitely can't jump. It's not one of those shows where you can just jump in. There's very few episodes that are like bottle episodes. Like,
I'm
you
gonna
really gotta
relax
watch.
and
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I'll be right back. I'm going to get a bottle of water real quick.
okay.
Be right back.
Alright, we should jump on this once we're all back here.
Do 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 do. Oh, I didn't. Okay, I forgot what I was going to say. Something I've been doing this week. So yesterday, I in part buried a church and burned a cemetery.
Those sound backwards.
Yes.
Okay. We're talking about like in a video game or like
Well,
or Minecraft or something.
if I tell you what it actually is, it's a lot less interesting.
Okay. Is it the I mean I feel like there's no other way to interpret those two actions, right? Aren't they just what you exactly said they were?
I mean parts. Like I buried part of a church and, took things out of a cemetery and then burned them.
Now, when you say things, we're talking about. First of all, we're talking about inanimate objects, not living.
Yes.
Okay.
I think I heard the word cemetery and burn things, and I'm really confused.
I'm trying to break it down here.
It's so mundane. Okay, it's shoveling like bricks from part of a burned down church and then burying them and then cutting down limbs from a cemetery and then burning them.
Why would you
It's
bury
so
the?
mundane.
Why would you
So,
bury?
wait, this is your job, Ed, or what?
No, it's just something I was doing.
No one asked you to wait. First, you didn't burn down the church first, did you?
No, it got struck by lightning.
Oh, okay.
Wow. That's a very uncommon
I feel like in Louisiana, it's just like, yeah, you know.
It happens.
I mean, you've got so many churches.
Oh, wait, you're in
It's gonna
Louisiana
hit somewhere.
Wait, Ed, you're in
What?
Louisiana?
Yeah,
Oh. Jesus.
He's in Louisiana.
I am.
They must be pretty pissed about the Saints today.
I don't know.
They are.
I have no idea.
The Saints suck
Um,
today, so they're mad.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Sports. Yay, win all the points.
Sports.
Yeah, right now I've just been applying to jobs like pretty much anywhere. So I don't
Including
know.
at the lightning-struck church down the road.
Yeah. No, just random cities like throughout the country. So it's like we'll see where I end up. But
All right.
whatever.
We shall see. So what is the lineup again for today?
You, me, and Mike.
I meant game-wise.
So we'll do try bet on for size, and then we'll do questions only, and then what did we do last week?
We did Dr. Know It.
We did Dr. Junior. Yeah, Dr. Know It. Dr. Junior. But there was another one. What was the other one we did? Fuck. What was the? We did Dr. Junior, sex positions. What was the? What am I missing? What was the other one?
So far you said try that on for size. Know it, Junior.
Questions.
Questions.
Sex positions.
Sex positions.
I'm missing one. What was the other one we did last week?
Oh, we did interrogation.
Oh yeah.
But with one person interrogating or something, or one person being interrogated.
It was just 1v1
Mm,
death match.
I see.
Yeah, all right. So I think
That
we're pretty warmed up. We've been talking about shit.
Yes, I would think so. So are we gonna do this with the YouTube bits? Are we just gonna record our parts at the end, or what?
Yeah, let's do that after.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll do Trevor number size.
That's the first one.
Yeah, when we do my little intro. Actually, wait, I do have. Huh?
I said okay.
I thought Ed was saying something. Yeah, that was it. Sounds right. All right. All right. Hey, this is the Chimp Knuckles podcast, show 9.
Take 2.
And we're off.
And scene.
It says
that's
we're
it.
here
Good
because
night,
Strumba
everyone.
isn't here.
Yeah, Strumba's not here to see. It's a nice joke though. It's a nice running joke. But the problem is, I've done enough retooling of the show that I wouldn't ask somebody to listen to all the episodes in order. So if this is the first episode they're hearing, and Strumba just says "cunt" with no context, half of our listeners just turn off they just throw their iPods out and they're like, "Fuck this." And I don't feel like explaining it every single week. It's just not worth it.
We got better things to do.
I got better things to do, like fuck up intros.
Clearly.
All right, you gonna take it again?
I'll do it again, sure. I'll probably
Absolutely not.
splice them together when I'm editing, but whatever.
You got this.
Hey, this is Chimp Knuckles Podcast, show 9. We're here doing the thing. We're doing a weekly podcast here. We're back. This is the second week in a row. We're on fire now. We're almost on fire. This for NBA Jam, we'd be hitting up. So we are doing this. I am Mike Devine, and we've also got Emily. We got Emily, and we got Ed.
Well, at least you didn't butcher my last name.
Yeah, I'm not. I feel like I'm
For any of
out
you
of.
listeners that care, it's Emily Shalaba.
But it's both spelled and pronounced in a way that confuses and astonishes. And the last couple weeks we've made a game out of just coming up with different things that her name could be. And frankly, I'm out of them. I don't have any.
Well, really,
I believe one time I was just kind of around you and I said something something. I think it was like stupid booties or something
No, you called me
and you got
Shabadoobie for the
mad at
longest
me.
time, and
Shabba-dubby.
You got
that was yours every time, especially when you were drunk. You'd come up to me parties, you'd be like, Emily, Shabadoobie.
that was all the time. That don't.
Yes, but it was more frequent when the intoxication levels went up.
Yes.
I found it charming. It's okay.
Oh. Regardless, anytime I said something that was at least 3 syllables and started with an S, anywhere near you, you would get super mad.
Just
He's
because
like, no, it's not that hard. It's shalaba. It's not hard.
because
And
A, it isn't, and B, just because like I've come from like a family
But I wasn't.
that's really prideful.
Like, even if I wasn't like talking anywhere at you, it was just.
You just
Like,
hear like
I
from
would
over
know,
the
like,
hill,
I
like,
would
it's
hear my
Shabadoobie!
I would hear my first name and then that, and I'd be like, "Grr." Just because like if you said that around like my dad or anybody on my dad's side of the family, they would probably like hang you by your intestines. It's bad.
I think the easy solution is just have a name that is spellable and pronounceable.
Which is why I'm hoping to marry somebody that has like a 3 to 5 letter last name. Just something easy.
Emily Derp.
To be honest, I would deal with it. I would be fine.
My one of my teachers, her last name when she got married, her first name is Lori, and her last name when she got married was Rabori.
So it's like Julia Gulia from The Wedding Singer.
Yep, Lori Rabori, and then she got a lot of. She would bring in this mail and complain. She'd be like, "It's bad enough. My name is Lori Rabori, but I'm getting all this mail addressed to Lori Ori."
I had a teacher in high school named Miss Hercules.
Oh fuck yes.
That's awesome.
But okay, the thing is she had been married and then got divorced and changed her name back to Hercules.
Of course.
I was like, why would you change your name
in the first place? Although now anytime someone says that's a Herculean effort, I immediately imagine a really short blonde woman. And it's a kind of a confusing image. But so like what does she change it to? What could possibly be better than Hercules that she would just be like, all right, you win.
I don't know, some patriarchy tradition.
Dude, if that were me and I was marrying a girl named Hercules, I'd take Hercules.
Yes. Yes, you
or
should.
At least hyphenate. Jesus.
Because that can't be that like it blows my mind.
No one has a better name than that.
Hercules without hearing in my head, honey, don't you mean Huncules? But that's just me.
I mean, she had the Disney Hercules, like a cutout of it on her door.
As she should.
So there's a movie on Netflix that was one of the first movies I ever really stumbled on Netflix called Hercules in New York. It stars. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger's first movie. It was made in 1969 for about $5.
Oh my god!
It's amazing.
How have I not seen this?
I'm surprised you're both film students. This should be like required viewing.
You know, I've seen
Godfather.
every movie. I've seen all of them.
I have seen all of them.
Except for the Harry Potter ones. And
I guarantee you will love Hercules in New York. It is by far the best of the worst movie. It's the best worst movie you've seen since like the Trauma series. Like,
by the way, I'm just kind of laughing at my picture in the corner because it's partially cut off, so it just kind of looks like I'm peeking over like the very bottom of the picture frame. Just be like, and that is gonna really suck for the people that are listening to this and not seeing the little Google Hangout triad we have going on.
Oh, well, I can't even see what she's talking about, so it's like, all right.
We'll put a link in wherever the
you'll see it on the YouTube thing, and when we do,
but no, they won't. They'll see yours.
Oh, they'll see all three.
Yeah, they'll see all three.
But not the rectangle one.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, in the rectangle version of mine.
In the widescreen.
Exactly.
Box one.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so let's jump into our first game here. We're gonna play a game we call.
Try that on for size.
That's the one.
You're
welcome.
Firing on all cylinders tonight.
Should I lead this considering Mike forgot the name of the game?
Sure.
Okay, so this is a game called Try It On for Size. So what we're going to do, we're going to have two players, in this case, Mike and Ed, do a certain sound effect and say what that sound effect is. So, for instance, if somebody made a sound like, I'm riding a motorcycle, try that on for size. And they therefore pass it to the next person who does the same sound but a different thing. When one of them figures out that they can't come up with anything else, that person loses, and Mike, you might have to correct me on this, but it's either we switch the sound effect or that person is out and it's just the end of the game.
That would be a real quick game.
So what's
No,
going to happen
yeah.
is we're going to switch the sound effect.
Yeah, we'll switch sound effects. That person gets a point, and we'll try because it's sometimes hard to hear when someone awards a point. So we'll try using the sound effect. This guy, the cash register,
Okay.
as the point. For this and for questions as well. Whenever somebody gets a point, we'll use that sound effect. This guy.
Okay, so what I'm going to do in terms of getting our first sound effect is I'm literally going, I just Googled sound effects, and I'm clicking on the first link that comes up, and I'm playing the first one that I find. And the first one that we have is 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 a grenade going off.
Okay.
So it's a boof kind of sound.
Okay, so it's a boof.
It's like it's an explosion sound.
All right. So I guess we'd be like, I'm throwing a grenade. Try that on for size.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then go from there.
All right.
So players, this is the game of try that on for size. Your suggestion is a grenade going off. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Begin.
Timeout before we start.
Mike can go first, by the way.
Okay. Well, that and also just make sure we have a 3 to 5 second timeout. We don't want to and just be took too long. Point Mike or point Ed.
Okay, so I'm gonna set a timer for 5 seconds.
Oh no! I mean, literally the vaguest of timer. In your head, be you're taking too long.
Okay.
Use judgment.
Okay.
Just to keep the game moving along quickly. Otherwise, we'll have giant gaps.
Okay.
Okay.
That'll work. Anyway, take two.
All right. So.
Players, this is the game of try that on for size. Your suggestion is a grenade going off. Mike, you start. Are you ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
Begin.
Boof! I'm throwing a grenade. Try that on for size.
Boof! I just dropped a sack of flour. Try that on for size.
Boof! This body's heavy. Try that on for size.
Boof! I'm a geyser. I'm Old Faithful. Try that on for size.
Boof! Magic. Try that on for size.
Boof! I just did a spit take. Try that on for size.
Boof! My tire just exploded. Try that on for size.
I just jumped onto a mattress. Try that on for size.
I just Superman that hoe. Try that on for size.
I just bust through a glass window. Try on for size.
I'm too fat for this air mattress. Try that on for size.
That.
Damn it!
All right, Ed, you get the point, mainly because Mike did not do the thing at the end of his statement.
Good, because I was out.
Okay, so next one. Thank you, almighty Google, for giving me anything to go off of. Okay, the next one is is a dog barking. Let's see if we can find something that isn't so obvious.
All right, so
So let's go with...
I'm a dog. Try that on for size.
Yeah, that'll work.
I'm Ed trying to be a dog. Try that on for size.
I'm an out-of-tune trumpet player in 6th grade. Try that on for size.
I am a ski instructor describing the conditions outside. Try that on for size.
Ah.
I am a teacher in Charlie Brown. Try that on for size.
I am...
Ed gets another point.
Damn it.
Okay, so the next one that I got on here is an electric hum. So it's something like a kind of sound.
Alright. I'm making an electric hum. Try that on for size.
I'm a plane flying by. Try that one for size.
No, I'm watching the NASCAR. Try that on for size.
I was about to do NASCAR.
All right, I think considering the devolve into laughter and that it's already been 10 seconds, I
Yeah.
think Mike gets that point. What do you say we're going up to? 3 or 5?
Let's do 5, sure.
Okay.
You're actually
5
keeping
rounds?
score? I don't know how to keep score.
Wait,
Yeah, I'm keeping
5
score
rounds
right now.
or first 1 to 5?
All right, the next one we have is
Okay.
a drum roll. So, ba-dum-bum.
All right. Is that going or am I going?
Ed, since
Yeah,
you
you got
lost, you go first.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm a drum roll. Try that one for size.
Da-da-da-da-da. I'm using a Tommy gun to kill the prohibitioners. Try that on for size.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm jackhammering concrete. Try that one for size.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. I'll get you, Red Baron. Try that on for size.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm a very angry woodpecker. Try that one for size.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm third transformation Frieza beating up Piccolo. Try that on for size.
Does that count?
Yes, and I'll tell you why, because
Culture?
I just watched that episode yesterday, and it counts, damn it.
But don't we not do pop culture? All right, fine. I'll let it go.
Oh, wait.
Ed, go ahead.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm that Portishead song. Try that one for size.
Da-da-da-da-da. I'm the drummer from Guns N' Roses getting really into it. Try that on for size.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. I am stuttering while saying ta-da.
And Ed
Ta-da.
forgets to do the thing, so Mike gets
Nice.
another point.
Damn it, I had a good one for this. Da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm angry Fred Astaire.
Either way, Mike, you get the point. So,
For real though, Frieza, like, I just watched this episode on Tsunami last night, and like, Frieza was literally going da-da-da-da-da-da as he's like assassinating Piccolo. It was like a 15-minute sequence of him just going da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Anyway,
Okay. The next
relevant.
thing.
Yeah.
Next thing on the docket. Let's wait. Okay, so we have something being lit on fire. So a boom kind of sound.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm lighting something on fire. Try it on for size.
I am a cool breeze coming through a clanky door that goes try that one for size.
I just put more coal into the firing furnace in the train. Try it on for size.
I'm flying through a slalom. Try that one for size.
Wait, hold on. You're what?
Skiing through a slalom. I said sliding, but still going through a slalom.
What's a slalom?
The ski things.
Okay, fine.
I don't have one. I just keep thinking now I have another one. Emily Slalom.
All right.
I forfeit my turn.
Okay. Therefore, Ed gets the point, and that gives him up to 4. So if Ed gets this one, then he wins. So let's
is like
make this good, people.
Keeping score, like actually, this is
What is this, tennis?
It's intense.
Well, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Tennis?
Okay.
I did one for tennis.
Hello, tennis.
All right. We have the first thing is a sword swishing sound. So a shoom, shoom. Like, somebody getting chopped up into pieces, I guess.
Who's starting? Is it me or?
And since
you are.
Ed got the point, then Mike, it's your turn to start first.
I'm swinging my sword around. Try it on for size.
I'm shooting away a pesky dog. Try that for size.
You will remember the name Zoro. Try it on for size.
I am spitting, but I have a dry mouth. Try them for size.
I'm MC Hammer wearing parachute pants, but my legs are fat and they're swishing together. Try it on for size.
What do you call a wish with no eyes? Try them for size.
I'm going to have to forfeit that one because that's not a sound effect. That's just a joke. So, Mike, you get that point.
See, that's task mastering.
Ah, man.
All right, it is, I believe, 3 to 4. So this is going to be either Ed wins or we have 4 and 4. So
We'll see.
next one, I'm just going to think of this off the top of my head. Let's go with bubble noises. The Like you're underwater. Does anybody else get that?
Yes.
Okay,
You know who
and
starts?
since Mike
start.
got the point, then Ed
Oh
starts.
no, I start. I'm underwater. Try that on for size.
Blah, 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 blah. I'm Jabba the Hutt's father, very disappointed in Jabba the Hutt. Try it on for size.
I'm turning into a pile of goop. Try that on for size.
Blah, 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 blah. I'm the teachers from Peanuts, and I'm an angry mob of them. Try it on for size.
Pause. Technically, the Peanuts thing was already used in one of the other sound effects.
Damn it.
So therefore, Ed gets the point, and therefore, Ed wins.
Yeah.
Ah!
No.
Okay. That is one game down.
That was the most officiated game we've ever had.
Is that a
Yeah,
good
it
thing?
I'm not sure. We'll see how it looks when it's edited. Probably is a good thing because it's more focused than non-scored.
Then non-score word thing.
Okay, so let's jump into the next game. The next game is called Questions Only.
Do you want me to lead this, or do you want me to play
Yeah,
it?
you can lead it if you want.
Because I was thinking about having a timer, and then just like scoring, like whoever if people when people mess up,
Yeah,
like just do it, but you guys keep going.
right. Yeah, so it's like basically like a scene game, but we just keep track of who's better at questioning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, do you think 5 minutes?
No, less than that, like 3.
Yeah,
Or-
3 minutes is good.
3?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll actually time this with my phone.
Do you have You're able to use the sound effects, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Either
Oh,
of you.
him.
Yeah.
So yeah, that guy. And also
Why?
the gong for the end of the scene as well.
Let's see. I got Google Effects, so does that count?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Then I think so. Well, I have like different things to put. Here we go. Sounds. Found them. Thank you.
All right. So
Okay. Let's do the thing.
All right. I'm just gonna look on my Facebook feed
scene
for
suggestions.
Oh,
scene
Jesus.
suggestions.
Make sure to introduce the game as well.
All right. Let me try and find. Okay, I got something.
All
All right. We're now going to play a game called Questions Only. It's a game where you can only ask questions.
Really?
What we're going to do is we're going to do a scene for 3 minutes, and anytime someone says a sentence that does not end in a question, you will hear. What are we going to do? This?
Oh, the cash register.
Cash register?
Yeah,
Okay.
that guy.
We're doing the cash register. So anytime you hear the cash register, that means someone messed up, and the other person gets a point, and whoever has the most number of points at the end of 3 minutes wins the game. Does that make sense? I don't really care. A friend of mine is posting a lot of pictures of an eggplant face on Facebook now.
What?
I'm gonna like this.
An eggplant that has a face, or a face that looks like an eggplant?
An eggplant that has a face on it.
Huh.
It's
Sure.
like a nose is coming out of it that is eggplant, and she has carved in eyes and a mouth. This eggplant. So your suggestion is eggplant.
Okay.
So players, it's a game of questions only. Are you ready?
Yes?
Yes.
Begin.
Hey, have you seen that picture of that guy posting as an eggplant for Halloween?
Is it on Facebook?
Do you not have Facebook?
Did you assume I did?
Why wouldn't you have Facebook?
Why do you still have Facebook?
Is there something newer than Facebook now?
Have you heard of Tumblr?
What's Tumblr?
Are you really that dumb?
Do I look that dumb?
Do you really want me to answer that?
Not sure if I do. What's...
So how big is this eggplant?
Well, you know those giant pumpkins?
The ones in the backyard?
Yeah, have you ever seen them, like, fully grown?
Have they ever lived that long?
I mean, have you ever not stepped on them and allowed them to grow?
Haven't the squirrels usually eaten them?
I don't think squirrels. Do squirrels eat peanuts? No. Or
Since when are peanuts and pumpkins?
aren't peanuts and pumpkins the same thing?
Did you miss elementary school?
I mean, aren't all P words essentially the same?
Are you drunk or just that stupid?
Do you think that pumpkins can fit inside of peanuts?
Do you know what the size difference between a peanut and a pumpkin is?
I thought you knew about my medical condition where I can't see sizes of things, didn't you? Damn it.
No, no on that one.
Disregard that cash register?
Did
One
you hear a
minute
cash
remaining.
register?
Am I hallucinating?
You mean I'm not the only one?
Did you slip something in my drink?
Did you put something in mine?
Do you taste anything?
Do you usually taste those things that you put in drinks?
Do you honestly expect me to remember?
Where am I?
Who are you?
Is your drink kicking in right now?
30 seconds.
Has yours not yet?
I mean, am I the only one swimming in pumpkins and peanuts right now?
What are pumpkins again?
You know, aren't those the things that squirrels eat?
Oh God, what is going on?
Ah, oh man. Is that a pool full of peanuts and pumpkins?
Have you said that many P words in one sentence?
That is 3 minutes.
Hey.
And Mike asked 2 non-questions, and Emily went the entire scene asking only questions.
So I
So if this
win.
was a contest, Emily would win. But it's not a contest. You're all winners.
Oh,
Because
God
it's
damn it.
2015, and we're tired of having losers.
I think that we should have the last name of Hercules up for grabs for the winner.
You know, everyone's a winner, so we have 2 Vince Lombardi trophies.
No,
tonight.
I disagree. No one's a winner, except for one winner.
We're doing an improv podcast. Are really any of us winners here?
I think it's more about the least losing. Emily, congratulations, you've lost the least here tonight.
Yay!
Yay, 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 yay.
All right, we're gonna do sex positions?
No, we got interrogation going on there.
Sweet. I didn't know what the order was. You never mentioned beforehand. So
Oh,
this is why I ask these questions.
Now, sex position is always that's our ending game.
Okay.
Gotta go off on a high note. But Ed, when you made that noise just now,
You
I
could
just
say
assumed.
we could end on a climax.
Wow. Whoa, we. All right. So interrogation. Let's do. You know what? I don't think since we've actually done them, I don't think I've ever actually done them. Come to think of it. Interrogation.
You've always been leading?
I think I've always been leading interrogation. Can I try interrogation?
Sure.
Yes. Who wants to run it?
I'll
I
do the
guess again?
thing.
What's up?
What,
Can I
Ed?
guess again, or do you want to guess?
No, Ed, you
Um,
can guess. I'll lead it.
All right. Yeah, I'll be the interrogator.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So it's
Should I?
Here's the dealio. This is a game
Lead
called
it and
interrogation. How this is going to work is we have one interrogator, which is going to be Mike, and one interrogatee, who is Ed. And Ed has done something somewhere with somebody, and we need to use the almighty Google in order to find out what that person, place, and thing is.
All right. I'm going
And-
to mute my headphones now, so I don't know what it is.
Yes, so Ed,
So-
you're going to mute your stuff, and then
Send me
I
a
will
message.
send you a message on Facebook telling you when to come back.
Goodbye.
we're hip to the
everyone.
technology.
Goodbye.
Ed.
Okay, so Ed is all muted out.
Ed.
You can stop yelling now. Do you have any ideas, or should I just go to the almighty Google?
What worked last week was we went to Reddit. Reddit seemed to be a good place to find.
Okay, so I don't have a Reddit account, so I'm just
Well, you
gonna...
can still go to Reddit.com and browse the stories.
Okay, I'm going to Reddit. Okay, so how do I read it?
You just go to reddit.com and there's the things. It's like a
Oh,
Google for people that are lazy, too lazy to search for things.
so one of the things that comes up first is an alligator snapping turtle versus a pineapple. So what I think would be a
Fuck.
funny idea is that Ed stole a pineapple.
All right, that's a good crime.
And then let's see, we have do okay. We have an American woman teaches English bellboys to dance in Charleston. So he's going to be in Charleston, Louisiana, which shouldn't be
Wait,
too.
Charleston, Louisiana? Is that even a place?
I think so. Well, either way, he's going to be in a town called Charleston.
Charleston, South Carolina.
Yes, that.
Okay, that one.
And
Okay, okay.
then he's going to be with do, 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 the cast of That 70s Show. Because one of the things here is one thing I can appreciate about That 70s Show was that if they had a moment, they weren't afraid to let it play out. So do you think that'll work, or do you think that's too difficult?
Let's pick one person from the cast of That 70s Show.
So let's go with Mr. Foreman.
Red? Yes.
Yes. So he was stealing a pineapple in Charleston, South Carolina with Red Foreman.
Awesome.
Are we good?
That's perfect.
Okay, I'm going to go message Ed to tell him to come back in. Ed. I just texted him Ed with one E and a lot of D's.
Ed.
Ed. I'll also put one on the Chimp Fuckles thing.
Come back, Ed.
Yep.
You know, from a certain perspective, that could be read as "come back, erectile dysfunction."
Or eating disorder.
I always love those.
Come back, eating disorder.
Okay, so
I was
now that
like-
everybody's
like,
back
is-
in the room.
Do you have a problem with ED? Talk
That's
to your doctor to know if you need ED treatment. Like,
come back.
All
So
right,
many-
anyway.
If you put a comma there, it'd be you could just be like telling your doctor, "Doctor, come back." ED. Come back, comma ED.
Okay. All right, Mike, you got your three things?
Yes.
Audience, I'm assuming you got your three things, considering I just said them. All right, players, this is the game of interrogation. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Begin.
All right, get in there. Sit down.
All right.
You are some piece of work. You know that? You just thought, this guy was in RoboCop. He can play a pretty good bad guy. Bitches leave, and then he goes on, has a family, and it's somehow, 1970s. You thought this guy's a cool guy to hang around. You didn't think maybe he could be a bad influence on you.
Never.
Nah. No matter what show he's on, from what decade, you think this guy's great. Doesn't matter doesn't matter how many dumbasses he kicks in the ass. It's fine. This guy's cool.
It's really the best. I only hang out with the cool kids.
Yeah. I mean,
Cool kids.
the cool kids, cool parents, same difference. I mean, maybe they fought in Korea. Maybe then settled down and had a dumbass and a girl dumbass, and then just spend the next 20 years laughing at his dumbass friends. I mean, this guy, he thinks he's so cool because he was on that show about that decade, and that's all
but
cool.
I ain't doing nothing with no 70s show. Shoot. I ain't even been there.
I hope not, because then you'd run into this guy and he'd kick your ass for being a dumbass. That one dude,
Yeah, the dad from that 70s show. I ain't with him.
Yeah, okay. So you admit you were with
Character
Red
was
Foreman.
Red. I forgot his
Yeah.
actor name.
You were with Red Foreman.
Yeah,
All
Red
right.
Foreman.
All right. Yeah. So now you got to tell us where you were with Red Foreman, and you just
Yeah.
thought, you just hop on down and do this dance, do this, Made in Carolina, this right here. That's South Carolina, not North Carolina. North Carolina's way too good for you, you scumbag.
Man, don't go telling me nothing about North Carolina, because I can go to North Carolina if I want to go to North Carolina. I actually prefer North Carolina, so don't go accusing me if I'm doing some Cotton Eye Joe nothing, because I ain't doing nothing.
I mean, not North Carolina. You're not.
No.
That's too good for you, you scumbag. You and Red Foreman, you just went on down to South Carolina, to that only city in South Carolina that's worth mentioning ever. Think maybe we'll do the dance.
Yeah. I mean, are things about to get chewy up in here? Or would you say it would be chewy?
You could say that. You could say that.
Man, cause we ain't doing no Charleston shoe dances up here.
That's what I thought. You did was in Charleston. That's what I thought.
I mean, we were chewing tobacco and dancing. I mean,
it's hard to chew tobacco when you're under the sea. I mean,
hey,
when you're under the sea and you live in one of these, it's hard to chew without getting water in your mouth. And you just thought, you know what? I could live in one of those. I'm just gonna steal it.
Sometimes I just want more. I mean, look at the stuff. Isn't it neat? Would not you say my collection is complete? I think my collection's pretty damn fine myself, so I won't even play. Don't even play.
I mean, it doesn't matter how piney it is, I mean, you're just gonna take it. Doesn't matter if it doesn't look like either of the two things it's named after. You just think that should be in my collection of things.
Hell yeah, it should be in my collection. This castle thing. I
mean, it's only small. It's only big enough to fit one sponge, but that's fine. That's more than enough space for you and Red Foreman.
I mean, if it can only fit one sponge, I mean, this one pineapple in Bikini Bottom ain't doing nothing. So.
Aha! I nailed you. Ah. All right, I want to hear a full confession out of you.
All right, so maybe I might have been with Red Foreman, and okay, maybe we were in Bikini Bottom.
No,
and
I didn't think so.
And we might have been doing the Charleston. We might have been at SpongeBob's house. Doing the Charleston. At Bikini Bottom. In the sea. In the pineapple.
You had it and you lost it.
How did you lose it? We have it on 2 minutes ago in the podcast. You said the correct answers.
Yeah, it was with Red Foreman.
Oh, Jesus. With Charleston. Okay, you know what? Hold on. Okay, Ed?
Yes?
You were in Charleston, South Carolina, and you stole a pineapple.
Oh! I thought we were doing the Charleston and we were inside a pineapple.
No.
So you switched the thing and the place. Okay.
Okay. Well, that was close.
I mean, it was still a crime, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
It still landed you in imaginary prison.
Yeah,
So okay, that definitely could have gone worse.
It could have been world's worst.
Oh my.
All right, let's jump on into let's do Dr. Junior. Dr. Junior is our Dr. Know-It-All is our resident knower of everything. He is the man with 3 heads, and he is who we consult when we have important questions. But for small talk, we turn to his son, Dr. Junior, who, due to a genetic defect, only has 2 heads.
Yeah. Dr. Phil was busy, and Dr. Oz wanted too much money, so we're just left with Dr. Know-It.
Dr. Know-It, a.k.a. Junior, Dr. Know-It. He doesn't know it all. He knows it some. So let's time out. I forgot to add in. So let's do Ed and then Emily as you two in that order.
Okay.
You two, you guys, as the thing. All right. So let's bring out Dr. Junior here. Thank you very much for joining us. It's great to see you.
It's
good
to
be
here,
sir.
I forgot. Dr. Junior has the kid's voice, the high-pitched kid's voice.
Oh, that's right. Should we start over?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So let's bring out Dr. Junior. Thank you very much for spending time with us. It's good to have you on here.
Hello, sir.
It's
Great
to
see
you
here.
today.
All right. Yeah. It's nice to see you too, Dr. Junior. Dr. Junior, I heard that you were having trouble in school with a bully. Is this true?
It
Is,
true.
but
The
bully
got
his
nose
broken
yesterday.
morning.
So
It's
under
control
right.
now.
Thank
You.
Okay. So how did his nose get broken, Dr. Junior?
They
Punched
him
in
the
face.
but
I
wasn't
around.
to
See,
it.
sadly.
However,
I
caught
him
doing
cocaine
in
the
bathroom.
earlier.
So
I
feel
like
I
got
my
share.
he
Okay. You got your share of what? Of his cocaine?
Just
gave
me
a
look.
and
Snorted
all
of
it.
so
I
got
none.
thankfully.
Dr. Junior, did you put out a hit for this kid after you saw him snorting cocaine?
Hits
Are
kind of,
illegal.
but
My
Daddy
said
that
he
would
take
care
of.
that.
Hee hee
Hee
hee hee. Ha ha.
Okay. Well, Dr. Junior, I heard from one of your teachers that you were having problems with the girl that you liked in school, and then she also ended up with a broken nose. Can you explain what happened there for me?
That
Was
not
my
fault.
I
Wasn't
trying
to
hurt
anyone.
and
She
just
stepped
in
to
the
fists.
I
Think
I
might
have
said
something
rude.
but
Nothing
violent.
at
That
level.
protecting
Each
other
is
my
main
priority
except
for
bitches.
bitches.
Well, bitches and bitches may be fine, but see, we actually we've acquired the tape of what happened that day, and Dr. Junior, you were the one snorting cocaine, and when the bully found you, you bashed his nose in, and then ran outside and struck a girl for no reason, and then just fled the building. Do you not remember any of this?
Cocaine?
Is
Powerful.
so
I
don't
remember.
anything.
However,
I
think
that
tape
is
bullshit.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that tape is evidence. The police are here, and they're going to be taking you away to juvie for a little while. So say hi to the nice policeman and tell your father that he can't get you out of this one. Thank you for coming, Dr. Junior, and we'll see you. We'll see you a little later.
Okay.
That turned dark.
Yeah. You're the one that put the tape on it. I was just gonna be like, I wanted to protect my girlfriend, blah blah blah, but no.
Ed, I gotta say, I was really disappointed when you didn't, because when you said cocaine is, I was really hoping you guys were gonna do cocaine is a hell of a drug.
That's what I wanted to happen.
I thought about it, but I'm like, was that okay? Maybe in hindsight that.
Because helluva is technically one word.
Oh well.
It's okay.
It's fine.
It's gone.
It's gone, guys. It's gone. All right. Let's jump on it. Let's do our ending games. We're gonna do some sex positions here.
Hey.
Hoorah.
All right. So we'll do the way sex positions works is we're each gonna take turns naming a sex position. The other players are going to go in order and describe that sex position, and then the original person is going to explain what it really means. And then I guess whoever was closest is the best at sex positioning. So we'll do this in order of I'll go first, then Ed, then Emily. So the first sex position is the swollen armpit.
The swollen armpit involves, well, the entire week before, you have to be striking your armpit just as much as you can until it gets completely swollen up, and then you can't move your arm in any direction, and your armpit then resembles lady parts. And then you do things with your armpits.
Okay, that's cute and all, but what the swollen armpit actually is basically, okay, so you've heard of a blowjob, you've heard of a hand job, you've heard of a foot job. Well, there is actually a way that people jack off by going in between your arm and your chest, there by your armpit. And the swollen armpit is basically the after effects of which the sperm has irritated the sensitive skin of your armpit, and therefore basically making it so like you look like you're carrying a phantom box for like the rest of the week, because that muscle has A, been built up so much, and B, because it's just swollen and red and puffy.
Okay. Interesting guesses, but the swollen armpit is actually what happens when you have so many bitches that you don't have enough things to fill orifices with, so you got to have one of your ladies grinding up on your armpit, and then she just gives you her yeast infection, and your armpit swells. Not the most flattering.
Delicious.
Yes.
Hmm.
I love bread.
Uh,
All right, well that's cool and all. That's cool and all, but that doesn't compare to the seal of approval.
the seal of approval.
Mm-hmm.
So what the seal of approval is you're towards the end of doing things with your partner, and what you do is you put the head of your penis right on their forehead, like contact with their forehead, so that when you ejaculate, it basically just sputters in all directions around it, but it leaves like a circle where your penis head was. So it kind of looks like somebody stamped you, more or less, thereby giving you a seal of approval.
So what the seal of approval really is when you're doing it in the butt and you smack her ass so hard with your hands that it leaves a handprint that has fingerprints on it, and then you can trace it back to you and just say, yeah, that bitch is approved by me.
Well, that's cute, but what that actually is when you're at the aquarium and you break into the seal tank.
Oh,
I knew this was going this way.
If the seal wants to join in, that means you're doing it right. If the seal does not seem interested, do it better.
I don't know how we've gone this many shows without a bestiality reference in this game.
Jesus.
We should be commended.
Like I said, all of these sex positions are really cute, but you know what's a really good time? The shameless binge watch.
Okay. Oh, the sandwich. I've heard of the shameless binge watch. That's just where you turn on episode 1 of Battlestar Galactica, and you don't stop fucking till they settle on Earth. Spoiler alert: they settle on Earth, and then you come in her pooper.
What is it with you and anal sex, man?
I don't know. What is it with Ed and bestiality?
I said one thing.
And now forever, that's the only thing.
This show. Boy, the chimp fuckles have weird kinks.
We are called Chimp Fuckles.
Yeah.
Chimp fuckles. It's like
Come on now.
no. The title of show 9, the kink edition.
Oh.
Kink edition. Have a hose with like a bend in it. What was the name of it? I forgot already. Oh, the Shameless Binge Watch. The Shameless Binge Watch is where you have to. It's more of a marathon thing, where you have to actually do it for 4 seasons, and I mean that by like calendar seasons. So spring, summer, fall, and winter, and you have to continuously go at it for an entire year, and you're not allowed to finish ever. So it's really a marathon thing.
Do you get to hibernate afterwards?
Yes.
Okay.
So all of those are really good guesses, but what it actually, the Shameless Binge Watch actually is tape with your partner, and then going out in public and on your iPhone watching that sex tape and discreetly jacking off while watching it.
Okay. Well said. Well positioned.
Thank you.
Well
I tried.
placed.
Do you want to go one more round, or is that good?
I think we're good. I think that's good.
All right.
The reason I seem to fall back a lot on the phrase "come in her pooper" is that when I was like 12, it was like a bunch of us.
Great! Starting a sex thing with you being 12.
It's the origin of a joke.
Okay.
Me and my friends were like 12. We didn't know anything about like sex at all or any of the slang. So like we were talking about this teacher we all thought was pretty. And we were like, yeah, like yeah, she's pretty. Like yeah, she looks nice. And then like one of our friends just like, yeah, I'd come in her pooper. And we're just so good. I'm like, what the fuck? So from now on, that's my go-to.
There's always that one person in every friend group in
He was like our Kenny, like are overexposed to stuff, had the internet, like.
Mm.
Although I guess having the internet is not. That kid had the internet, like
No, I get what you
anymore.
mean. I get what you mean.
There
And by the way,
was always
the
that
only
one.
reason I came up with the Shameless Binge Watch is because I've been watching the show Shameless, and I'm on the last season, and I'm going through that depression where you're just like, I only have 8 episodes of the show left.
Battlestar Galactica.
And then I have to wait until season 6 comes out, and I don't even have Showtime, and I don't know how to watch it. Oh God, it's gonna be a struggle, but it's such a good show. Oh my God,
Struggle is real.
I would love to be an
Wait.
extra or have a tiny part on that show so bad. It's so good. It's got William H. Macy in it. It has Emmy Rossum, Joan Cusack, the kid Cameron Monaghan, who's going to be the Joker on Gotham now.
So I saw a thing for a show on Fox. I didn't even know they were making this show, Minority Report.
Minority Report?
Yeah, apparently it exists in the same universe as the movie from like '03.
I've never heard of that movie.
It's a Tom Cruise movie. Spielberg directed it. It was
Oh,
great.
Jesus.
It wasn't like it was during that time when like Scientology, when he was kind of like going off the rails, but I mean he was still making good movies. So like out of the context of Scientology, it's a great movie.
Hmm.
Yeah, like. Well, okay. I'll say it's a great movie, but it could have been better because like the last act kind of went off the rails into predictable, weird whodunit territory, which is kind of strange. It's based off of Philip K. Dick. I think it was Philip K. Dick short story that I read in English in high school. It was great, but it was like it was written in like the '60s, so like in that version, like everything was like done on like punch cards and shit.
Oh, jeez.
So they kind of updated it, and then they apparently took the updated version from the movie and made a show around it, which sounds badass.
Huh.
Does sound pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's next week it comes out, but that's like the only new show that hasn't premiered yet that I'm interested in. Everything else is already in its second or more seasons, or it's like John Stamos is in it.
I'm still catching
Okay.
up on the past 4 years where I didn't watch TV because I was in college.
Yeah, that was me up until like recently. I binge watched Breaking Bad. I binge watched Battlestar Galactica. I binge watched fucking everything. Now I binge watched all of Naruto, and that's like 700 episodes.
Yeah, that's a
Wait.
lot of things. Jeez.
What is that show done? Is it still on?
It's in the last arc, but they're stretching it out like fucking crazy.
Mhm.
The manga's been done for like a year, and they've just been stretching it the fuck out. And it's
When
like
did it
everyone knows.
start?
Started in like, I think it premiered in the U.S. in like 2003.
And it's still going on.
It's like because it's stretched between technically two series. Like they for whatever reason they ended the original Naruto, then they started calling it Naruto Shippuden, and there's like a 3-year jump. But in the manga, it's still called Naruto. For some reason, I don't know. They changed it.
It's whatever.
But yeah,
Business,
it's fine.
probably.
It's fine.
It's Gine.
Naruto Gain. Yeah, that and like One Piece are like crazy long anime that you could literally like spend. You could track the progress of the measure of time by what arc you were on in those shows. Like I can tell you like when I was like during this because I've seen them before, but like during this years long binge, I can tell you like what I was doing during the tuning exams and like what I was doing when like Gaara was captured. Like I remember like real life events and like the theme songs that were playing during the time when things were happening. It's kind of cool actually, like measuring your time with anime.
Well, because I remember when it first came out in English, and that was when they had all those like weird cuts and stuff on it.
Yeah.
And like I never watched it, but I would see people like, do like side-by-side comparisons of like weird censorship things.
Yeah,
See,
I mean,
I
That's
remember
really the only
seeing-
exposure I have to that show is
I've only
the-
seen bits and pieces of Naruto, but I remember that one jitsu thing that he does where he turns into that naked woman.
yeah, the sexy jutsu.
Yeah, and then like seeing that and me being like really just like and I'm like 8 at the time and I'm just kind of like and so part of me is like that's awesome and the other part of me is like am I attracted to females? So I'm just kind of so that's kind of like I'm just like because part of me is like I kind of want to be the sexy jutsu person. But I also am blushing like a mad woman at the sexy jitsu thing. So I'm like,
And this isn't just any ordinary. This is an anime woman, so like
yeah.
she's a complete fantasy.
Yeah.
Like-
So I'm just kind of like,
I felt the same way when I discovered Sailor Moon in like 3rd grade. It was like when anime first came to America. It was like 5 in
But
the
I
morning.
feel like it's less of I want to be this girl and more of a I want to do things to said girl.
Well, yeah.
Well, okay, I stumbled upon that. Like I was just flipping through channels, and I like went by one of like the transformation things when I was like a little kid, and I got this like horrible feeling. I was like, should I be watching this? Like I felt bad, and like I like turned it off because I was like,
And I also remember being on like a skiing trip with my dad and my brother, and Futurama was on one of the TVs while we were trying to get skis or something, and it was the one that was Death by Snoo Snoo.
Yeah.
So I was just like, the idea of sex was like on this thing, and I was just like bright red, just being like, oh. And the worst part was me like wanting to watch it, also being like,
My mom rented from Blockbuster American Beauty, but it turned out to be American Pie. And so before they had a chance, well, they didn't show it like this was like when I was in 7th grade, so they weren't watching it like with me. They were just like, it was me, it was her and her boyfriend at the time. So like they rented it to watch, realized it was the wrong movie, left it in the kitchen, and we're like, we got to return this. But before they could, I like snuck it up to my room with the VCR, and I was like, what's this American Pie I've heard about? And I watched it, and I was like, oh shit.
I've only seen American Pie, I think it's the reunion one, so I need to get around to the other ones.
yeah.
I don't know if the 2nd or 3rd one are any good, but I know that like they've gotten to like direct to DVD quality since at least those. So I wouldn't like put too much. Like the original one is like an actual classic comedy.
Okay.
I wouldn't hold it like if you didn't like the derivative sequels, don't hold it against the
It
original.
was mainly the thing with the reunion one. I just was watching it with a bunch of friends of mine in high school, and the thing that like threw me off was the him trying to cover up his penis with the clear pan cover. That one was just like, that's a penis I didn't need to see. So,
So okay, so a memory I have or had rather was like walking around Blockbuster, and I don't know if you've seen the poster of the movie Showgirls.
Yeah.
no, but I've seen everything wrong with Showgirls, so I think I can get the reference enough.
Okay, no, the poster itself is like kind of mesmerizing because it's like her head, and then it's like it basically looks like a human snake. Like Google image search it now. Like it was like mesmerizing. But I was kind of a
Showgirls
kid, like before.
movie poster. Okay, so I see it's just like her head and like her leg.
Yeah, but it's like it looks like a snake person.
Kind of. I guess you can kind of see where you're going on
And
that.
I remember just like staring at that in Blockbuster, and my parents were like, "Hey, yo, let's look over here. Let's look at Nintendo games." And I had no clue what it was. I was just like, snake person. And then like years later, I saw it on some like worst movies ever list,
Oh
and had
no.
this like moment.
It's a snake girl.
You're a snake.
But you're also naked.
But then everything made sense.
That's funny.
All right,
That's funny.
let's do the outro here.
Oh, yeah,
That
we have to
was
do outros and stuff.
gotta do outros. So that was our show 9. We are on all the websites. We're on the www.chimpknuckles.com. We are on the Facebook. We are on the Twitters. We are on the YouTubes. We are on the Tumblrs. We are on the SoundClouds. We are on the Pinterest. I don't know, something. Reddit.
Are we on Pinterest?
No. Why the fuck would we be on Pinterest? I don't know.
I don't.
We are
what is
title
Pinterest?
exclusive.
Isn't Pinterest like for like what is Pinterest? I honestly don't know.
The only time I've seen it been used is for wedding type things.
Oh, so it's a wedding site. Okay. So
No.
it's like-
It's
it's like an
basically
image board.
It's basically, yeah, it's like a dream board where you just pin things that you're like, I want this one day or something like that.
It's like a bulletin board for like images and like articles and stuff, and you can be like, oh, here's a board for, I don't know.
Yeah, like a lot
pieces
of
artwork
girls
that I
use it
like,
to
or-
be like, this is what I want my wedding to look like, and they'll pin wedding dresses and stuff. But there's also like, oh, this is like food, basically like food porn, more or less, and just stuff like that. You feel me?
I feel old. I feel like you young kids and your bulletin boards and your images.
I
Back in
don't
my
use
day-
it, but
Back in my day, we were lucky to get one image to load on the page, and within a minute, because she straight up had dial-up, yo.
I sat behind. I spent an entire class behind this girl who spent the entire time on Pinterest, like 2 hours twice a week, for the entirety of this like sociology course on Pinterest, like looking up pictures of like clothes and like tattoos.
But I mean, everybody's got that class where it's like you know that you can better spend your time doing something. Like I once
Yeah.
did that for one of my electives. I just spent most of the class, most of that quarter, making what would become my mom's birthday present. It was a Photoshop of my dog's head that I was gonna make into a mug. It was like her head in like a Looney Tunes loop. So like she was kind of like Porky Pig, like sticking out of the drum.
right.
And it was just
Yeah.
a little Karen Terrier's head on Pig's body, and it was just like that's all, folks. And it made no fucking sense, but like she found it hilarious.
I
And so I'm just sitting there, like anyone who looks at me sees like me editing a dog's head onto a pig's body.
So, hey guys,
Yeah.
are we gonna redo the outro considering you
No.
went on a tangent?
No, I can cut out the tangent.
No,
Okay,
we're
just
talking about Pinterest and sociology course, right?
I've become very good at surgically removing banter.
Okay, just checking.
I'm really good at seamlessly, like if you listen to the show, the last week's show, it's like a half hour long, but
Huh.
we had like twice that in footage, and I just like spliced that shit out.
Nice.
Not that it was bad, it's just that I needed to cut it down. We decided we wanted to shoot for around 30 minutes, so I managed to get it around there.
The other day, I got a message from a friend being like, "I'm listening to Chip Knuckles. What are you talking about?" I'm like, I have no idea. Like,
we
I
want to
don't
cut
know
down
what
on that. We do want to cut down on that reaction. What the fuck are you guys doing? I can't
It
follow.
was the King Midas thing from, I think, Knicks.
Yep. There's gold on my fingers. I do like that. Like that makes great fodder for like the taglines for the episodes and shit. I love just like throwing that up there.
Oh,
Like,
too.
you know, as the subtitle, like Chip Knuckles so 9. There's gold on my fingers, and then like no reference to it in the show. It's just like what? I do like that. I like Liam Nelson was that was easily my worst Photoshop job ever, but it did the job.
Really, if that's the bottom of the barrel, I mean, you're actually pretty good. If that's actually the worst you've ever done.
Well, it looks better because it's like shrunk down. If you look at it full size, it looks like balls. But like,
Oh, well.
but it's good because I only used it in shrunk down context, so I was like, yeah, it's fine. It'll look decent in a small size. No one will notice. No one will notice that I literally just copied the same mustache I got from a picture of Tom Selleck and made it a unibrow. Like you can't tell that from the small size. You look at it full size, you're like, that's not a unibrow. That's an upside down mustache. The illusion falls apart.
You know,
Everything I know is a lie.
Exactly. Liam Nelson is a lie. We should. There is no spoon. There is one spoon. There are two spoons. Okay, so bensound.com has done our sound. They do music. That's their catchphrase we made for them. You're welcome. You can listen to us every week. We're doing this all the time at the site and at the places. And what do we got here? We got I don't remember where we stand on our. We're always looking for a slogan, a catchphrase to end the show on. We've yet to find one that sticks.
I feel like we don't have a slogan. Might as well be our slogan.
We don't have a slogan.
Stay sticky.
Oh god.
I like that one because there's no way we could have landed on that with any thought to it. Like there's no context for that to be applied to. Stay sticky. Just it's like saying like, you know,
Because nothing stuck. So stay sticky.
Oh.
Okay, so it's not a masturbation joke.
No.
I didn't hear Matt.
Ew.
Ew. I heard what neither of you heard. I just heard random thing with no context. You guys have dirty minds.
Well, no, because Chimp Knuckles is a euphemism for jacking off. So
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Was it?
We learned that after the fact. We looked it up on Urban Dictionary, and we're like, oh.
Oh, that's right. It was like after you bought the domain name, so it's
Yeah,
like,
after I bought the domain name, it was like, well,
oops.
now I know I don't have this yet. My friend at work just tried to buy the AsianHarryPotter.com domain name, and it took forever. Apparently, that's in high demand. Because his friend, who's Asian, got a cut on his forehead that looks like the Harry Potter scar, so we just decided to buy Asian Harry Potter for like $5 and then just put up the picture of our friend.
The internet has too much space, and I love it.
It's fun looking up domains that are available or not, because you got more than just your .coms and your .orgs now. You got like, you know, .asia.
.expert. That's a domain.com thing, yeah.
Yep. .porn. You got .everything. .everything. You can even do like I can do like Mike D. Vine. That'd be actually I'm gonna buy that right now. Fuck it. That's a good one.
Oh no, are you Mike letter D or Mike D-E Vine?
DE dot Vine. Because everyone forgets my V is capitalized. Wait, that sounded really wrong. My V, the V in my name is capital. That's how you know I'm not directly related to Adam Devine of Workaholics, because he doesn't have a capital V.
Huh.
Or
No,
Loretta Devine, or Ned Devine, or any of the fucking famous Devines. None of them have capital V's.
We're just common run-of-the-mill divines.
Just regular V's.
We are working class divines.
Those lowercasers.
Blue collar divines.
Okay.
All right, so that was enough. That's enough reminiscent. So that's I'm gonna cut the last like 5
Goodbye.
minutes.
Are we gonna
Bye,
do
listeners.
other thingy-majigs from your script now?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's hammer those out.
Let me
Okay.
actually look at.
Let me go grab it now.
All right.
Show it as out. Yeah, I know.
By the way, what is this Jeet stuffed owl thing?
Dude, it's from that Dwight video I mentioned earlier. It's like there was one line when I was trying to give it the caption, and I'm like, I can't understand what the fuck he's saying, but I'm just gonna put what it sounds like he's saying. There's this one point where he's just like, he just stops saying English. He's just like, no, I went there down to Gracie's, Jeet stuffed owl, and then, you know.
Okay.
I think the name of this was going to be Jeet Stuff Owl for a while.
Yeah, that was our front runner for a while. I'm glad we didn't go with that though.
That is an upside down mustache. I'm looking at Leo Nelson right now.
It's like one of those magic eye things where it's like, or one of those drawings where you turn it upside down and it's someone else. It's like a guy who still has a unibrow, but it's a bigger unibrow and a smaller mustache.
Okay, let's do the things.
All right, you guys have the things up?
Yeah, so I
script?
say the paragraph and then the personalized thing, right?
Mm-hmm. And then I'll probably add like a sound effect of like a walkie.
Yeah, they said like a radio crackle somewhere in
Yeah.
here.
I'll add. You guys don't have to worry about like bullshitting the sound effects. I'll add them for reels afterwards.
Okay.
So.
Ed, do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Check out the links for more. Yeah. Let me actually read this before I read
That would
it.
help.
Check out the links for more clips of this game or more clips from the show. Okay. Check out these links for more clips of this game or more clips from this show. You can also listen to entire shows by following the link to our podcast, and make sure to subscribe to hear a new show every week. Okay, I read it. Can I see my family now?
Oh, of course. Yeah, they're right over here.
Okay.
Was that alright or do you want me to do it again?
It's what?
Was that alright or do you want me to do it again?
I feel
I
like
think
you
that
should
was
sound
good.
more scared, but that's fine.
We could take it from that part, like from the after part.
I'll just do it all over again.
Do the whole thing.
Do the whole thing.
I mean, if you want, I guess.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Check out these links for more clips of this game or for more clips from this show. You can also listen to entire shows by following the link to our podcast, and make sure to subscribe to hear a new show every week. Okay, I've read what it says on the cards. Can I see my family now?
Of course, they're right over here.
Bang, bang, drop. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go now, I guess.
Okay.
Check out these links for more clips of this game or more clips from this show. You can also listen to entire shows by following the link to our podcast, and make sure to subscribe to hear a new show every week. I'm going to say that again because I feel like I stuttered. Check out these links for more clips of this game or more clips from this show. You can also listen to entire shows by following the link to our podcast, and make sure to subscribe to hear a new show every week. Mission complete. American radio. Damn it. Mission complete. American video website has successfully been infiltrated. Proceeding to phase 2. Eliminate Moose and Squirrel.
Nice.
Was that an okay Russian accent? I couldn't tell.
That sounded good.
Yes? Okay.
I mean, it is supposed to sound like a fake Russian accent.
Yeah, well, I want to be somewhat authentic.
I don't know. Ed, what do you think?
I just like the
Well,
way
I mean,
that
keep in mind that one of our regular listeners is Russian.
Yeah, Yekaterina.
So,
Oh
as
man.
long as you're doing it, she won't be mad at me. So,
So
Yeah.
when I went to Israel on birthright trip, there was a group there that, and this was
Wait, hold on.
last
Birthright?
birthright. Yeah,
What's that?
that's if you're Jewish, you get to go to Israel for free.
Huh.
That's
Okay.
basically what that literally is. Which, like, if you're one of those, like, as I'm signing up for the trip and everything, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, like, if I'm an anti-Jewish person, someone who hates the Jews, this would seem like a really good argument against the Jews. Like, we're gonna bring all the Jewish people back to Israel, tell them things, and then send them back. That does sound a little
Inefficient?
a little unique. Well, it does sound a little bit. Like if I were a conspiracy theorist who was anti-Semitic, that would give me a lot to work with. I mean, obviously that's not what it was at all. But in the back of my head, I kept thinking, like, this is giving our enemies a lot to work with when it comes to, like, claiming how evil our people are. like like why else would you why else would you fly everybody back there just to see the place, to see the motherland? That sounds like an awful, I don't know.
Should we do the Doctor Know-It-All one?
Actually, can I just do mine one more time, mainly because I just like saying it in a Russian accent?
Okay.
You could just take the best take. It doesn't really matter, but
Yeah.
okay. Mission complete. American video website has successfully been infiltrated. Proceeding to phase 2. Eliminate Moose and Squirrel.
Nice.
God, it's just really fun to say. Sorry.
Russian accents are fun. But yeah,
Yeah.
so the birthright thing. Yeah, so birthright, there is no nefarious plot. It's just they pay for you to go back because, Israel's there now, and they're like, you should go to Israel while you're alive because it's cool. So they bring in there, and then there was a group there from Russia and the Ukraine. There was a joint group, and this was arranged in like the beginning of last year, right before Russia invaded Ukraine. And so they went on with the trip anyway, and I met up with this group of half Russian, half Ukraine kids, and it was both super awkward and super awesome at the same time to like watch them interact with each other.
Oh my God.
And and the day we happened to run into them, it was Ukraine's Independence Day.
Ooh.
So the Ukraine kids were sitting by one campfire chanting their national anthem, and the Russian kids were sitting at another campfire just kind of sitting and glowering. And I asked one of the Russian kids, like, well, so what are they singing in there? And they're like, they're singing the Ukrainian national anthem, which translates to Russian fools. And I'm just like, this is great. This is how the UN should work.
Yeah, no, I have
Just
friends
like,
back home.
really.
I have friends back home that somehow have a longer and slightly more complicated last name than I do. Who's
Shalababa.
their last name is Konstantinovsky, and
Nice.
Not Istanbul.
and they're Ukrainian Russian. So like technically they speak Russian fluently. They're at least my friends' parents. They do. They're all family friends. They have parents, and then they have a kid who goes to St. John Fisher, who went to our high school, is in our grade, and they have a younger brother who's like 10, I think. 9 or 10, I think. Point is, they speak fluent Russian, and oh my God, it is hilarious to go on vacation with them because we're like in line in Disney on like Soarin' or something, and they're literally like, okay, story time. We were in this line for Soarin', and I, at the time, was wearing, like, this,
Nothing.
ha, 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 ha,
I was
ha.
wearing this nothing.
No, I was wearing this sleeveless shirt that had buttons on the chest, so it was a little bit low cut, but nothing that bad. And I was also, like, 14 or 15 at the time. And so we're in line, and I have pins right on the side of one of, like, right where the neck of the shirt is in one of the straps, basically, of this shirt. And there are these 2 pins, and this kid in front of us, who's maybe like a year or 2 older, but very like dorky looking, like spiked up hair, like Guy Fieri style, and this T-shirt that basically had that Leonardo da Vinci man guy, with all the arms and legs, except he was holding like a guitar. It was kind of lame. But anyway, he turns around and he goes to me, he just kind of stares at my chest for like 3 minutes and then goes, "I like your pins." And me being 15 and not really knowing much, I was just like, "Oh, thanks, I really like your shirt, whatever." And he just keeps staring at me, and I don't really notice. My dad does, but I'm with my dad, who's an Italian Brooklynite, born and raised in Brooklyn, Italian lawyer, and then my mom, my brother, and my friend Victor, who are both varsity baseball players. Boris Konstantinovsky, who is a easily over 6 foot, just stack of a Russian man.
Did you say he's 8 and easily over 6 feet?
No, he's this.
Oh.
Boris Konstantinovsky is easily a 6 foot tall man who's just this stack of a Russian guy. He's
also
long.
in 3rd grade and is very good at multiplication.
I heard Boris is 8, 6 foot tall.
No, Boris is a 6
Okay.
foot tall, but he's like huge. And then
I'm gonna picture him as a
6 foot
giant
tall.
8-year-old. I'm still gonna picture him as a giant 8-year-old, but go
he's
on.
not an 8-year-old. He's like 30 something. But he's huge. And then his wife, who's who's this very shapely Russian woman, and, Zach, who's just kind of there. But the point is, both my dad and Boris are very intimidating looking, and my brother and Victor are staring at this kid like they're going to cut his balls off with a baseball bat, which I know is impossible, but just bear with me. And Boris and Rochelle, his wife, just start talking to each other in Russian, and Victor is snickering because he can understand what they're saying. And after a while, this kid just kind of like starts stepping towards me really awkwardly, and Boris, who is also a Brooklynite and this just stack of a human being, like one of those people that would fill in an entire door, if that makes sense. He literally just says, in front of everyone in the loudest voice he can, "Hey, why don't you step away from my family real quick, because you're making us all really uncomfortable. If you're going to stare at a chick, at least do it in a porn magazine back in your own bedroom and not to my family, okay? Now turn around and stop staring." And I'm just like, oh my. And then the kid doesn't do anything. He goes, "Turn around or I'm going to punch you in the face and wish you'd never been born." And I'm just like, oh my God. And this kid just like completely backs off, but he like tries, we get on the ride, it's fine, and then he tries following me out from the exit, and it's just like the creep-tasticest most thing ever. And that's totally a logical sentence, bravo. But still, basically, it's really funny being around intimidating people when you're tiny and female.
You should just ride on their shoulders.
See, I would.
Do like a Vincent Adultman thing?
Huh?
A Vincent Adultman thing?
A what?
Vincent Adultman.
Oh.
Or not. You can not do a Vincent Adultman. This is
I don't
just a
really get
suggestion.
that reference, but okay. Yeah, no, it's just a fun time.
Nice. Brutal story, Co.
So should we do the Dr. Know-It-All one?
Yeah.
Because we played Dr. Know-It?
But it would be Dr. Junior, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we can all three do the...
Yeah, okay. So
Wait, if it's after this show, should we just do how we played it?
Yeah, we could. We could do
Or should we do all
both.
three? 'Cause
and then on another one, we can do Dr. Know-It-All with 3 people. So let me start by apologizing immensely for being absent and not being a team player. I've been scrambling and running around so much the last 3 weeks that I haven't really had much time for anything. I very much look forward to getting back to the swing of things, and I want to get back into the shows ASAP. I assume you guys have been doing phenomenally without me, but I just kind of wanted to give my little update on why I haven't been so quiet. It's not just you. I've been an annoying little C-word cake to everyone as of recent. Anyway, I heart you and love you all.
If it creeps me out to know how accurate I was in my Facebook stalkery. That's basically exactly what I said at the beginning of the show. Is probably what's going on.
Ed.
Damn it, Ed. Once again, you're the voice of us all.
Not true.
I feel bad that he feels so bad.
Yeah, which is why I'm being nice. Should we just save the Dr. Know-It-All one for when we have more people on? I feel like
Yeah,
that would
we
make
can
more
do that.
sense.
Should we just...
Hmm?
I don't know.
You want to just do Dr. Junior real quick, Ed?
I think we should, just for that game. Just for that
Okay.
video.
Okay.
Okay.
So you start off.
Fine, okay.
So I guess
Ed's response is more appropriate. God damn it, I try to be nice. All right, Ed, you can start.
Okay. Check. Oh, I'm
Out.
Sorry.
Check
Out
these
links
4
more
clips.
of
This
game,
or
more
clips
from
this.
show.
You
Can
also
listen
to
entire
shows
by
following
the
link
to
our
podcast.
and
Make
sure
to
subscribe.
Here
a
a
new
show
every
week.
I
Am
Dr.
Junior.
I
Am
2
times
smarter
than
Dr.
who?
Biznatch.
Technically, wouldn't it be the doctor, though?
Eh. Not everyone's gonna get the Doctor Who reference, let alone the Doctor reference. Sadly, as much as I'd like to think that everybody in the world has heard of Doctor Who by now, there are heathens among us who haven't.
Yeah.
All right, let me do mine. I'm just gonna do Dave.
Okay. It'd be funnier if...
Yeah, basically. It'd be funnier if you checked out these links for more clips of this game or more clips from this show. You can also listen to entire shows by following the link to our podcast, and make sure to subscribe to hear a new show every week. Yeah. That's all there is to that one. I couldn't really think of one for myself. So I was like, I'll just read it as Dave.
Should we do a fifth one just because we did 5 things?
I mean, yeah, if anyone has ideas for more of these, I'm all ears, because I thought it took me forever to
I
think
have
of
a good
these.
one that's a real big throwback to, like, the first one that I was on.
Okay.
How much of a Okay, just do it.
You'll see. Just let me do the thing.
Okay.
Hey guys, check out these links for more clips of this game or more clips from this show. You can also listen to entire shows by following the link to our podcast. And make sure to subscribe to hear a new show every week. And hey, if you're lucky, me and Mike can take you to Pound Town.
No promises. Ha.
See, that was fine, I think.
Yeah. I mean, none of them have to be works of art or even as funny as the shows themselves. Like, as long as they convey that information and have some little creative little twist to them, that's fine. I mean, we're talking
I love
about...
how you interjected no promises at the very end.
Yeah, that was a good touch.
Yeah.
This is literally, like, these are the only things stopping me from dumping a million of these on YouTube. I think, like, this will be big for getting foots in the door as far as, like, listeners. Like, when I was at San Diego, like, I was trying to get my friends to listen to the whole thing, and it was like, we just weren't in a mindset to sit and listen to anything. We weren't, like, we weren't driving anywhere at the time. We were just sitting in the hotel for a few minutes, and it's like, if I had just had, like, the games to show, that would have been a much better way of introducing the Chimp Knuckles to my friends, rather than, like, skipping around and, like, or finding things out of order. Like, it was a pain, but with just the little bits, it's a lot more, like, shareable, and it's a lot easier to get, like, little, like, even if one of the clips goes viral, that's more of an
That would be awesome.
That'd be sweet. And, you know, it's more likely that something like that would go viral than an episode of a podcast just on its own.
But I mean, you'd see the, like, 4-minute thing, and then
Yeah, the idea is
maybe like 10% will watch the whole thing, you know.
Right, yeah, it's all about the
Madness.
conversion rate. Like, you want to get those viewers of the short YouTube thing, to then be interested enough to click subscribe to the podcast. Like, that's conversion rate, advertising, SEO.
Yeah.
CPM.
Speaking of, you said speaking of.
I did what?
Oh, I said
I thought somebody
CPM.
Oh.
Speaking of, and then no one speaks.
Good cost per thousand, because M is 1,000.
That would be an ironic use of the phrase "speaking of." You just said "speaking of," and then no, you don't speak at all.
Hey, speaking of,
You just leave the room. You just walk into a closet, don't acknowledge that it's a closet, and just stay there for an hour. Act as if you left the room.
speaking of, and then just move. Like, no one ever hears from him again.
Just move away. Is Ed in New Orleans now? He was gonna tell us about something. And then he just left, and he took his canoe with him. Fuck. Alright, I think that covers it for tonight.
Yay. Good, because I need to get back to reading.
Yeah, do more schooling, or whatever.
Yeah, colleging.
College. I'm taking a thing on Coursera, learning how to do, like, Internet of Things devices. I want to build, like, things to turn lights on and off in my house and shit. So I can be like Tony Stark. It's gonna be badass. But, yeah.
The starkiest of them all.
How has no one thought of that? A Tony Stark crossover with Game of Thrones? Like,
They have.
I feel like that I
It's
can't believe I
definitely on
haven't.
Tumblr,
What?
trust me.
It's got to be somewhere, but I'm surprised I haven't seen it yet because I feel like I've seen all of the Game of Thrones memes at this point.
Well, because Marvel has to have their foot in everything,
Yeah,
so I mean, it's only a matter of time.
it's not that Marvel needs to. We need Marvel to have their foot in everything.
So this is one of the most popular shows out now. How do we make it more popular?
Robert Downey
Iron
Jr.
Man.
And in terms of one of these things going viral, I mean, listen, if the John Cena thing can go viral, I think we'll be okay.
I love how JR has gone. The announcer from WWE has gone viral. Like, by God, he's broken in half. Like, it's fucking hysterical. have you seen the videos of dubbing JR, the wrestling announcer, over video games?
Oh yeah, I have.
It's funny in general, but the best line by far. Because I remember watching the actual when I was a kid, watching the wrestling match where JR he makes this line. He just goes, and they did this effect for the Undertaker where he was in a coffin and he gets or the match was he gets thrown into a coffin and then after he loses the match there's a pyrotechnics thing and then JR just screams out my God, lightning has just struck that coffin and he is gone. He just did this whole diatribe reacting to the Undertaker and they used it for a clip of Pokemon Stadium where an opposing Pokemon uses an electric attack and it hits the coffin and then you just hear JR go, lightning has just struck that coffin. I lost it.
It's you take this 90s nostalgia and this 90s nostalgia,
You just mush them together.
mush them together, and show them to people who have 90s nostalgia. And they'll be like, huh.
Hmm.
Ha 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 ha.
I found Tony Stark. I posted in the Hangout chat. I found Tony Stark with Iron Man with Game of Thrones. It's actually pretty
Told you
amazing.
it was somewhere.
I kind of want this,
DCrant.com.
dude. I kind of want to print this out and hang it up. It's kind of amazing.
What?
This image that I put. Yeah,
Tony Stark of Winterfell.
it's kind of amazing.
Okay, guys, I really have to get going.
Yeah.
Fine then.
Whoa, easy.
Bye,
Yeah.
guys.
All right.